Hi, I'm going over 2 Mesa builds for today. First off, 4 Tower Forged Orange secondary critical chance shards here, and 1 Tower Forged casting speed. These are not required, not necessary. You can use normal, Tower Forged, whatever. Any shards really you want. This is just to get red crits with the regulators. For the second build, you can use 5 of these if you want to, because you aren't going to be casting as much. But I do suggest yellow for the first one. So anyways, first build here is just your typical generic Nourish Mesa if you don't want to do anything fancy. Arcane Hotshot, Arcane Velocity, you can replace Corrosive with Combat if you want, Combat Discipline, and replace one of the Arcanes with Avenger to get that flat 45% crit chance. Besides that, we use Vitality here, double heat procs, because we have heat on regulators, and that heat is also what triggers our Arcane Hotshot. If you wanted to run more Umbral, you could. You get up to 33%, up to 77% ability strength, so 33% more with triple Umbral. But I like running Vitality, and these are fine. You still do so enough damage with this, that does not matter. If you want more survivability, though, is the main thing if you want to try to health tank, although for later levels where you will actually need more survivability, I suggest just swapping this out for Brief Respite, and swapping this for Catalyzing Shields. You'll still do enough damage without this. And then you can use your 1 or your 4 as your shield gate. Again, there's the abilities here. Very generic. Regulators here, secondary outburst. This general build is Ninjaze's on Overframe. I like his weapon builds. Oh, one thing I should mention, for the melee. For X-Wraith with melee crescendo. We use that as well as a Malcolm body count for the fire rate, but melee crescendo with Wazarian's second ability to get easy finishers to use secondary outburst on our regulators. If you want to, you could also put secondary outburst on your Grimoire here, and then put something else on your regulators and just switch to your Grimoire, and then switch to regulator, and then cast your regulators, but it's just easier doing like this. And Grimoire, energy regen, and then Toncore, because I wasn't using it on anything else. Used to use Latrin on Mesa for the armor strip, but that's not necessary anymore, so. Just cast your abilities. Takes a second to ramp up, but once we get everything ramped up here, there we go. Once those orange crits start from Arcane Hotshot, you start doing damage. And then show off that. And then essentially, at the beginning of a mission, you'll just want to... It's not letting me ground for sure. What's going on? There we go. Anyways. Something is being weird. There we go. Okay, you have your 12, and now when you swap back to your regulators... will now very quickly start to red crit instead of starting to orange crit. There, the red crits. Instead of going from orange to yellow, they essentially go from orange to red. With doing the actually, or really anything with Crescendo on it, and using Wazarian to do the ground finishers there. So yeah, that's the generic build. For pets, I use, like usual, Worm with these two. And this for the Veggie set, although you're not going to be using your Toncore much, so you do not really need the Veggie set. Now on to the actual fun build that I like to use a lot. I call this my castle build. So this build is based around basically setting up an area with Bright Bonnet and Zenurik, actually. And having enough energy, infinite energy, essentially. So, if you didn't know, Bright Bonnet, besides giving you a strength buff, also gives you an energy restore every 3 seconds. With Hardened Wellspring, this gives you, I believe it is 25.8 strength, or 25.8 energy per 3 seconds, plus the 5 seconds you get, or 5 energy per second you get from Wellspring, brings it up to 13 energy per second. To do a full rotation of costs about that much per second in energy. So essentially, by the time you cast all 4 of your abilities and you need to recast these 3, you will have your energy build up again. So it's very nice. With Hardwell Spring, you also get that extra 20% strength. That will boost this damage up a little bit more. This again also gives you the extra damage, or the extra strength. So you'll have nice strong regulators. Again, this is the build. Similar to the last one, except for we no longer need Equilibrium. Streamline is very much required on this to have enough to fully replenish your energy. And instead of Mars here, if you did want to, again, run Augur Message, you could. That would just give you even more energy, essentially, but you're already at max energy at all times with this build, so Message is not required. Just make it so you have to cast less often, but up to you what you want to put there. Again, because we're not going to be casting too often, you don't need, or we're not going to have to worry about casting for something like a Shield Gate. You do not have to use this casting speed shard. Same weapons, except for with regulators, I now use Fortifier to go sort of with the castle. Just for very high survivability. Oh, again, for the excellence for this one, put whatever. I just had 5 left, so I put that there. It's not necessary. Also, for Fortifier, if you don't want to put Fortifier there, you could put, like, Cascadia, or you could put Outburst there still. But I just thought it went with it. If you don't use Fortifier, put Magnetic back here. The reason why I am not using Magnetic is because Fortifier, I now have this for the 8 damage. 8 times damage to Overguard for Xmas units. The reason for I was saying you aren't going to really need to Shield Gate is because with Right Bonnet, if you jump on it, you are constantly moving on Right Bonnet. So enemies are very unlikely to hit you. Let's see with this. Oh, and I didn't even cast, actually. Zenurik. So it's like Zenurik and Mushroom. Because I think you get, what is that? Bounce me out of Zenurik, well, it did. Abilities gets you up to 52, so 4% extra strength, but that's nice. Extra abilities. Another one, so this is out in the middle. And now, oh, I pressed the wrong button. There we go. So I just bounce on the mushroom the whole time. Very fun. Get that extra strength. Also applies to your allies. As you can see here, as I'm bouncing, I got hit twice, 3 times. I got shot 3 times in that whole thing. So that constant movement is very nice for survivability. Obviously, if you go into the late levels where that 1-2 shot, those 3 shots will be enough to, you know, pick out your complete armor and then instantly kill you, you probably will need to swap, but I never do anything more than EDA, ETA, or like a 1 to 2 hour survival mission, so that's never been an issue for me. Or 1 to 2 hour relic mission. Yeah, that is it with Mesa. Just 2 sort of fun builds here. Yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching.